The nation watched in horror as a peaceful summer evening was shattered by gunfire. On July 13, 2024, a rally for former President Donald Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania became the scene of a terrifying act of violence. A lone gunman, later identified as 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks, opened fire on the crowd, injuring 3 people and grazing the former president himself. The chaos was met with swift action by the Secret Service, who fatally shot Crooks at the scene. The immediate aftermath was a blur of sirens and panic. The injured were rushed to nearby hospitals while law enforcement officials swarmed the area, working tirelessly to secure the scene and piece together the events that had just transpired. The shooting sent shockwaves across the nation, raising immediate concerns about the safety of public figures and the growing threat of political violence in an increasingly divided America. As investigators delved into the background of the alleged shooter, a picture began to emerge of a young man with a seemingly contradictory political identity. Crooks, a registered Republican, had made a $15 donation to Act Blue in 2021, a platform primarily known for supporting Democratic candidates and causes. This donation was specifically directed to the Progressive Turnout Project, an organization focused on increasing voter turnout among Democrats. This revelation painted a confusing picture of Crooks' political leanings, leaving authorities and the public puzzled about his true motivations. Adding to the complexity was the reaction of Crooks' family. His father, Matthew Crooks, expressed utter disbelief, stating that his son was a bright young man with a promising future. He had graduated from Bethel Park High School in 2022 with honors, even receiving a $500 Star Award from the National Math and Science Initiative for his academic achievements. The FBI immediately took the lead in the investigation, facing the daunting task of uncovering the motives behind this seemingly senseless act of violence. One of the initial hurdles they encountered was identifying Crooks, who was not carrying any form of identification at the time of the shooting. Authorities had to rely on photographs, DNA analysis, and biometric data to confirm his identity. The investigation also focused on Crooks' residence in Bethel Park, located approximately an hour away from the rally site. The Federal Aviation Administration implemented a temporary airspace closure over the area as a security measure, while agents from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms and Explosives, ATF, along with a bomb squad were deployed to the scene. The presence of such a large contingent of law enforcement officials underscored the seriousness of the investigation. The shooting sent shockwaves through the quiet community of Bethel Park. Residents were left grappling with the unsettling realization that someone capable of such violence had been living among them. The incident also ignited a nationwide debate about the escalating political polarization in the country and its potential to incite violence. Many pointed to the increasingly inflammatory rhetoric employed by politicians and pundits, arguing that it created a climate of hostility and intolerance, making such acts of violence more likely. Others highlighted the need for stricter gun control measures, arguing that easier access to firearms only exacerbated the problem. The shooting served as a stark reminder of the fragility of peace and the ever-present threat of violence in a society grappling with deep divisions. As the investigation continued, many unanswered questions remained. What drove Thomas Matthew Crooks to commit such a brazen act of violence? Was he acting alone, or were there others who may have influenced or assisted him? Despite extensive efforts to uncover Crooks' online presence, authorities were unable to find any social media accounts or online postings linked to him. Meta, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram, could not confirm whether any accounts associated with Crooks had been removed or suspended. The lack of a readily identifiable online footprint only deepened the mystery surrounding the young man and his motives. The shooting served as a stark reminder of the challenges faced by law enforcement agencies in identifying and preventing acts of violence in an age of digital anonymity.